Hi everybody and welcome to my next tutorial. My name is Maltenan and today I will show you how you can deal with some troubles when creating a signature kind of effect. And if you don't know how to create a signature effect, you will also learn how to do that. So basically we have two tutorials in one today. Uh, as you probably know, if you ever tried to create a signature kind of effect when having this kind of shape as a base, then you probably know that the biggest problem is having the brush tip changing over the time. And let me just show you what the problem is. Okay, so let's just close this down. Let's just delete the composition and let's create a new comp, whatever. Let it be 5 seconds long, for example. And let's just import our JPEG. That is going to be our sign that we are going to draw. As you can see, this may look pretty easy. So let's just create a basic kind of signature effect. So let me just size this up so we can see the whole thing. And the basic idea is to create a stroke and then using the stroke effect to unhide what lies on the layer. So let me just do that now. Let's create a stroke and we are going to try to keep the stroke in the middle of the shape. And this is because when the stroke effect animates, it will evenly unhide all areas. Let's just try something like this. Okay, never mind that. We have a path, right? We have a stroke. So let's just apply the stroke effect on this layer. And as you can see, we can already see the stroke. Let me just turn off the path for a second. We can already see the stroke being drawn on the layer. Let's just increase the brush size. Maybe let's change the color so we could see it better to red. And size it up a bit so we cover the whole shape. Let's say this looks okay. I know it doesn't, but let's say it does. Let's increase the brush hardness, maybe decrease the size a bit, and let's use reveal original image. And using these settings, we can do something like this. Well, this looks okay so far until it goes to this area when the brush size is so big that it uncovers something that should appear a bit later. And this doesn't look really good. So how do you deal with this problem? Well, as you can see, this brush that painted this shape was rather squashed, square I think, than a circle. So we need to recreate the shape of this brush and then paint over the stroke and paint over this shape. And we cannot use the stroke effect to do that because the stroke effect has only one brush tip or brush shape, and that is just a circle, right? So let's just get rid of the stroke effect and let's go to paint effect. Let's apply the paint and now let's just double click on this layer so we open it in the source or layer view, and in here we can use our brush to do some painting. Okay, this looks pretty easy, nothing interesting going on. As you can see, the changes also appear in the composition window in here, but this effect comes with some pretty useful features, and that is customizing your brush tip. Unfortunately, it's not as customizable as in Photoshop, so you cannot have a totally different shape like a star or whatever, you can just change the angle and the roundness of the brush, and this should do for this example just fine. So let me just draw something in here. So we have a brush 1 under our paint effect. If I undo this, you don't see the brush, so let's just paint something in here. And now let's go to the mask shape, copy it, so Ctrl C, and then let's scroll down to the brush shape and just paste it. And voila, we have painted with a given brush over a path that we've created in After Effects. And this is all we need to create a good mask for this shape. So let's go to stroke options. Let me just maybe move this up a bit. Okay. And as you can see, we have very similar parameters as in the stroke effect, but we also have the angle and the roundness and spacing, of course. I think spacing is also available in stroke effect, but I'm not sure really right now. Okay, so let's move on. Let me just increase the hardness to 100%, and maybe let's take the roundness down a bit. And let's set the angle to, say, 200. I think that would be just right. As you can see, it already takes effect on our stroke. So now let's just increase the diameter. Oh, that's way too much. And let's just see how it looks. Let's just animate the end. Well, it doesn't really matter that it goes off the shape in this area, because it doesn't uncover anything that would spoil the effect. We already see that we need to just do some slight changes in the path, but we can do it in here. So let's just go to this window and move this up a bit. And now we can see if it looks okay. Well, I think it will do just for the demonstration purposes, and let's just accept this. Let's set the end to 0. Let's set the keyframe. Move forward 2 seconds maybe. Let's create a keyframe 100. That's okay. And let's just trim this up. And we can also select paint on transparent, and this is what we get. This is pretty nice, I think. And now all we need to do is just drag another instance of this JPEG that we are stroking, and set a track matte to alpha of the layer above. And voila. We already got rid of some problems. Well, in here we get a bit of a problem, but we can just decrease the brush size or just adjust the path a bit. So I'm not going to do it right now, because you can do it by yourself. And this tutorial is just about getting rid of the common problem that you saw using a standard stroke effect. And the problem was much bigger than this one. So I think that you can just go ahead and play around with this, try to create some signatures, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. My name is Maltenan, and there are other tutorials on my website www.maltenan.com. See you there. Cheers.